love and hate Christina Henry so much right now. Huge spoiler alert. I'm warning you. The ending. Page 291. Are we there yet? Riley said. He'd been plodding his feet into the ground for the last hour or so. Red and Sam had both scolded him and told him that walking that way would just tire him out more, but he kept doing it anyway. Keep it up and I'll stop this car, Red said. We're not in a car, Riley said. It would be so much easier if we were in a car. Then my legs wouldn't hurt and my feet wouldn't hurt and our ears wouldn't hurt from listening to you complain, Sam said. Red winked at her. We're just walking through bushes and trees. There's not even any path, Riley said, and I'm getting poison ivy. You're covered from neck to ankle, Red said. The only place you could catch it is on your tongue, because you won't stop flapping it. Ugh, Riley said, but he was quiet for a while after that. Then suddenly, it was there, the clearing with the 2-story cabin where her grandmother lived. Red and Sam and Riley all paused to gape at it for a minute, because it seemed to have just magically appeared like a fairy ring. The chimney puffed a steady stream of smoke, and the smell of bread wafted through the air. Something smells good, Riley said. Race you to the door. Red hurried after Sam and Riley because she didn't know what her grandma would do if 2 strange little kids banged into her house. They stopped, though, and waited for her to catch up. You'd better go first, Sam said. It is your grandmother's house, Riley said. Grandma's house. I'm home. Finally home. And there are no wolves in these woods. Red knocked on the door. I'm sorry. The author doesn't tell us what happens when Red gets to grandmother's house. But we all know what happens in the original tale, but we'll never know. We'll just never know, because the author hasn't told us, because the author wants us to figure out if it's going to be a happy ending or not. I love it. Even though the book is done, it's not really done in your head. I think endings are like one of the hardest things to get right in a book or a movie or whatever. You need to leave people thinking about it. Brilliant. By the end of the book, Red has become the hero huntsman. She saves Sam from the pack of wolves. She's the one with the axe. She's the one that rescues Sam. She actually removes her red hoodie to do this. In a sense, it's like she's removing herself from being Little Red Riding Hood, the victim, and stepping into her role as the savior huntsman, or a huntswoman in this case. The ending of the original Little Red Riding Hood story is, in a way, already portrayed in the book. It doesn't necessarily need to be portrayed once Red and the children get to grandmother's house. Because that scene's already played out with Red being the axe-wielding huntsman, it is possible that once they get to grandmother's house, they're actually safe. Oh, Christina. There's another line on page 291, right near the end of the book, that I love. It's when Red and Sam and Riley are saying goodbye to DJ. The day of their leave-taking was a tearful one. DJ hugged both children tight, and then surprised Red by doing the same for her. Your grandmother is waiting for you, he said, kissing her forehead. And your grandchildren are coming to you, she said. It sounded like a promise, a wish, a thing made of magic that would come true just because it had been spoken. This reminds me of another book that I've read recently. Surprise, surprise. It's wonderful. It's called Gods of Jade and Shadow. And that book, it's very different from this one, but it is also based on legends, mythology, in particular Mayan mythology. And a theme throughout the entire book is the power that stories and myth-making have for people, and the power that words have, which I always think is fitting when it comes to books because you're reading words already. Well, that concludes my reading of The Girl in Red by Christina Henry. I hope that you've enjoyed reading it as much as I have. What should I read next? Let me know in the comments below.